we'll go deep into your name.
We'll go deep into a lot of things.
Yeah. We're gonna make this the most uncomfortable thing. We're gonna talk about your sex life. We're gonna talk about. I'm just joking.
You should be very nervous for this podcast.
Very nervous. And the thing that I didn't tell you is, as this podcast goes on, we start removing articles of our clothing too.
We remove each other's clothing. Though.
Each other's clothing. Yeah, but
Oh,
in the gayest way, though.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm wearing his underwear, so
I'm wearing 2 pairs of underwear.
But the thing is I don't know if you can tell the size difference. Mine are like G-strings.
I'm the little
for
spoon.
him. Yeah, he's a little spoon. No, thanks for coming on to the podcast, man. We're really excited to talk to you, and yeah, I think that will be really cool.
All right,
but we're gonna
kick things off.
Yeah, man.
Yep. What is up, everybody? I'm Mitch.
And I'm Dustin, and you're tuned in to the Fatman Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to start this thing out with the veteran highlight. We want to give a shout out to Staff Sergeant Austin Rainbolt. Thank you for all of your years of service, and we salute you.
Thank you, Sergeant Rainbolt.
So we have a very special guest today. He's none other than the one and only Evan Schoeff, and he was also he used to be one of my guys in the 438th. Now he is Sergeant Evan Schoeff.
Moving up in the world.
He's a great guy. He was you did the what is it? The Warrior
Best Warrior.
Yeah, best Warrior competition. You got second place, right?
Third.
Still.
Fucking stud.
Still, that's freaking awesome. And he's also does rock climbing. So we're gonna get into this. And so, Evan Schoeff.
Awesome. Call sign Iron Chef, by the way.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, I grew up in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So for those of you that don't know where Lawrenceburg's at, Perfect North Slopes is there, so you can do some skiing. There's a casino in the area, so it's where I grew up. Went to college at Purdue, graduated there in 2015, and then came to Indy afterwards. And then, didn't end up enlisting until I was about 27. So kind of a late joiner in the military.
Yeah, you're an old man.
And yeah, now I'm here.
Late bloomers are the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always me and him we always kind of got along, and I think part of it was because even though you've only been in what, like 4 or 5 years?
5.5.
5.5.
Yep.
We're close enough to age, and I was like, I can relate to this guy. But we work out sometimes on drill weekends, so it's nice.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff. I can't keep up with him on some of the stuff.
Well, no, he's younger.
Yeah. Well,
you're an old man.
What pisses me off is like he'll go do pull-ups, and my struggles with pull-ups. Mm-hmm. He does it like they're nothing, but that's those rock climbing arms.
It's that grip strength, man.
Yeah.
Right.
So what got you interested? What made you want to join the Indian Army National Guard?
So good question. Part of it was I feel like I always kind of wanted to serve, and for whatever reason, I never kind of just made that next step. And one day I was just laying around, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to be 50 years old and sitting on a couch and saying like, damn, I wish I did that. So that was really it. Just decided to contact a recruiter, and went off to basic at 27. So I went to Fort Sill in Oklahoma during the winter. So that was not pleasant. Plain state. So it was very, very windy and cold. And then obviously went to Fort Leonard Wood, where all the chemical training is. And then made my way to the 438th. So, and 438th has been great too, because it's about 10 minutes away from my house. I live in Indianapolis, so it's been super convenient.
That's convenient as hell.
The one thing that I really liked, so like at the end of drills, they would have to call up and make sure that they got home. I always knew, like, before I even left, half the time he was home. I was like, he's easy.
He can walk home.
Some of them you're like, I'm so ready for bed, but they have a 3.5 hour drive.
Man, I feel for him.
Oh, yeah.
That's rough.
Like Sweat, he has like a 2.5 hour drive. Fuck.
Well,
that.
he moved, but yeah.
Oh,
before,
he did?
Yeah, he had yep.
Is he closer now?
Yeah, he's on I think he's in the south side somewhere.
Oh,
so
really?
He's about 30 minutes.
Well, that makes a big difference. I'm sure he loves not waking up at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
I remember when I got transferred to the headquarters unit in India, I had to wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning for drill, and I was so fucking pissed.
That's where we drill right.
Well,
down the street
now
from
everybody
there.
does now.
Now everybody
but back
does.
then they didn't. That was where my E5 slot was.
So used to
I
the
got
fourth
fucked.
the 438th that we had the detachment in Terre Haute, which was very convenient because it's 20 minutes away from here. And then they had the Indy unit, which was headquarters. For the first year that I served, I didn't even know that anybody was in Indy. I remember we had one drill, and I was like, "Who the fuck are all these people?" Because we had like 30 people in our company. Remember?
Yeah.
And where I thought that was all of the 438th, and then all these other people show up.
Yeah, I remember the first time meeting all the Indy folk. And I was like, damn, there's a lot more people in this fucking unit than I thought.
So
Because it used to be nice. I used to live like literally like 8 minutes away from the unit when it was there in Terre Haute.
yeah,
Yeah, it was convenient as shit.
Yeah.
And then I got my E5 slot, got sent to fucking Indy, and I had to carpool with, at the time, he was a staff sergeant. I carpooled with him, and he would always fall asleep on the drive there every morning. And I'd be like fucking punching him in the shoulder. Wake up, dude, because he was driving, you know.
You know what I just realized? So we have somebody with the new 438. We have somebody with the old 438.
That's right. Compare and contrast.
Yeah, so we'll kind of I want to kind of measure the waters because I've been there through it all. So what has been the most interesting experience that you've had since being at the 438 chemical company?
That's a good question. There's been a lot of really interesting things, but I'd say, I don't know. I've enjoyed a lot of things, but going to Slovakia was probably up there for me. And just, we're used to the way we do things here in the U.S. and kind of seeing like different cultures.
Yeah.
We're training with a bunch of different countries, I think like 5 different countries. So kind of getting to know some of them and, just the way they operate. It's just, it was unique and it was a great experience.
Well,
I really enjoyed that.
Was that your first time out of the country?
Not first time out of country, but with the unit, that was my first time going anywhere.
It's super cool over there. I've been there a few times, and I would go back in a heartbeat if life allowed. That's the hardest part now is we're just so fucking busy. But it's something I definitely would suggest to anybody to go and see, just for the life experience, to see that, hey, this is not how everybody in most of the world does things. There's so much culture out there. So what is the most interesting thing most interesting thing for you from the 438th?
Well, the old 438th was kind of boring. We didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
So that was when we got stuck on the whole Surf P bullshit, and the entire unit was non-deployable. So,
well, you remember things before the Surf P, like you were in whenever that we still did smoke, right? Yeah. So for the 438th, we also used to have a smoke platoon where they like. You tell more about it.
Well, I wasn't. I came in. Let's see.
Was it right as they were phasing it out?
Right as they were phasing that out, and they started the Surf P, because I was in for, I would say, maybe a year when they started the Surf P shit.
I thought you were in a lot longer.
No, I got in. Let's see. I joined in 2005.
Okay, you were in for a few years before.
So yeah, but our unit didn't really have the smoke thing until they phased it out about a year after I got attached. There wasn't a whole lot to it for me, but there wasn't really a whole lot of interesting shit going on in that unit, because when I got attached to the unit, my very first day in drill that I was supposed to show up, I talked to the guys there at the unit, and they were like, you don't have to show up to your first drill if you don't want to, because it's just going to be ceremonial bullshit saying, hey, welcome to the unit, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. So I didn't show up. And then the following drill, I showed up because I had to, and there was like 4 people in the whole fucking unit, and I was like, where is everybody?
Was that when everybody was deployed?
And they were like, yo, they're at Primob in Indy with the 76th, and I was like, fuck. I missed it by a fucking couple of weeks. I was pissed. I wanted to deploy so bad. To all you viewers out there who don't know, this piece of shit never got to deploy in the fucking 10 years I was in. So, but that's mostly thanks to the 438th Chemical Company, Surf P shit. But I was non-deployable. But back on track, the most memorable things, I guess one of the most memorable things that stands out to me, I'm kind of biased with this because it pertains to me, was when I got pinned my E5. I got my blood rank. That was a very memorable moment for me. Having all the higher up guys, come through and beat the shit out of me. Yeah, fucking dude, I was standing there. I remember whenever Sergeant Parks, when he was still in, he came up. And he was the biggest guy in the unit, and he came up to just slug me. And one of the other guys, I can't remember who it was because I was so lightheaded at the time, kind of out of it, he come up and stood behind me and braced me when Parks come up and just fucking waylaid my shoulder. And fucking, it was so bad. But
now they're not. Did you hear the commander say that we're not even allowed to hit each other in the chest
and
anymore?
That's stupid.
That's a rite of passage. I might have been the last person to get hit. Yeah. I got punched a couple good times, and they said, yeah, cut that out.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, they stuck my pins into my collarbone.
Yeah,
it was in the bone.
You didn't get your blood stripes, did you?
Oh no, I didn't get that.
No, I missed that.
It's not too late.
One of the other
we can still do it.
Yeah,
outside of the unit.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not. If there's a general or a command sergeant major that's watching, I'm not saying
I'll fucking do it. I'm not. I'm a veteran. Fuck you. But one of the other moments, again, bias because it pertains to me, was when we went to Muscatatuck and did paintball.
You did that before I got there.
Okay, was that before you? Okay,
it was the drill before I got there.
We went to Muscatatuck and played paintball. It was capture the flag, and it was the most amazing moment in my life because Captain Holloway, he was still the captain at the time, and great dude, have nothing against him. But I remember he was standing up by a tree line. And I was hidden behind a bunch of pallets full of bricks. And I was looking through the pallet of bricks, and I could see him. I had him on my sights, and he turned just right, and I shot him right in the fucking mouth, dude. And that paintball hit he was wearing the mask, but it hit his mask and went in his mouth and in the back of his throat, and he threw that mask off and was coughing and just fucking spitting pieces of paint out and shit, Well, then Lieutenant Snyder, I'm sure you know him. Well, he was the first lieutenant then, I think. And he come walking up, and I cracked him right in the side of the fucking neck, dude. And it left the biggest fucking welt. So after the whole ordeal, when we were done, we did the AAR bullshit. And the Captain Holloway stands up in front of everybody, and he goes, before we start this AAR, I just got to know, who's the motherfucker that shot me in the mouth? And I thought I was in some deep shit, I was like, that was me, sir. I was fucking shaking in my boots, and I was like, I'm going to get fucking smoked. He's going to hem me up. He just fucking laughed. He was like, good shot, man. And I was like, fuck.
Kill shot.
God, dude, yeah. It was funny, though.
See, for my first AT, actually, I think you were it was me, you, and you.
Probably Alton.
No. Alton was after me.
Okay.
So
he was around us a lot.
I'm pretty sure it was me, you, and Smizer.
Okay, yeah.
And
remember, I miss that dude.
Remember Captain or First Sergeant Mifflin? He was like, "All right, guys."
Nah, fuck that guy.
You guys. He was like, "All right, guys. You guys are going to take the commander and you're going to throw him in the big ass mud pit."
Yeah.
That you two?
Yeah, that was
and
when
we launched. We picked him up, and he was like, "No, my phone." And the First Sergeant came up and he was like, "I got it." And we launched him as hard as we could into this huge mud pit. And then afterwards, all the newbies got smoked in the mud pit, and it was good fun. The stuff that the Army doesn't.
Yeah, we all got to throw the captain in the mud. Dude, he got shit on a lot in that company. Like Captain Holloway got shit on a lot in that company. He was a great dude, though. I like him, and I like Sergeant Mifflin or First Sergeant Mifflin too. He was an alright dude.
Yeah.
But I said fuck that guy. That was a joke.
Speaking of AT, so my very first time I reported to the unit was actually an AT. So I finished all my training. And then they called me like, hey, report this day. It's AT, so it's 2 weeks.
The best.
But of course, so COVID was a thing. So I showed up, and there's like 15 people there, if that. And that was my experience with the unit for the AT, and then also like the next probably 3 or 4 drills.
Yeah, because the whole unit didn't come back until like December or something like that.
Yeah, so I didn't know anybody. Hardly anybody. Maybe like I said, 15 people until basically like the next year. So that was a little weird, but
it was COVID was interesting for everybody. It was very. It definitely.
I can imagine.
It changed the whole dynamic.
I bet the military
for a lot of
sucked
things.
ass during COVID.
Yeah, it was the greatest time of my life.
Is that sarcasm? Or?
No, I'm being dead serious. I made some buku money during COVID. And the thing is it was the strangest dynamic for me because I was the NCOIC of this food bank, and my OIC was a major, so it was E5 at the time, and a major, and I found it was a strange dynamic, but no, I really enjoyed most of the time on COVID, and I really enjoyed the money that they were throwing the money away anyways. I was like, oh, hell, I'll take it. But
Awesome.
so let's get back on. We'll talk about military experiences all day long.
Oh yeah.
I want to hear about. Can you walk us through the whole entire process of the Best Warrior competition and how that went, and just your experience with that?
Yeah, sure thing. So I think they actually just had it either last drill or the drill before, but they basically said, hey, we need a volunteer to go, usually lower enlisted, and then sometimes NCO. And at the time I was lower enlisted, and I'd been pretty good at PT, and there's obviously a lot of physical stuff that's involved for that Best Warrior. So asked me if I wanted to go, and I said yes. And it's definitely the most demanding physically and mentally thing I've done probably in the Army to date. It smoked. It was like everything that you could imagine kind of crammed into 3 days. So my sponsor is Sergeant Helmick, which was awesome because he's obviously an expert in everything firearms.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is shooting too. So he got me as ready as I could. I don't shoot a lot, admittedly, outside of, when we qual and stuff like that. So the shooting was a point of concern, but he got me, ready as best I could. Basically you show up. So the first day was kind of, I guess, the most chill day, even though it was still kind of stressful. So we did a written exam. We had a multiple choice test. I think we took a PT test, which I think we still did the APFT, if I remember correctly. And then that was day one. And then the next day you wake up and boom, you're going from it's dark out all the way till the sunset. So it was a lot. But I think we started with some shooting. So we did pistol, and then we went to the M4 qual. And then you did kind of a combined shoot where you have both on you and you're changing back and forth between the two. So that was pretty tough for me, but it was enjoyable just because, it's fun to shoot. So you're actually getting out there and you feel like you're actually training and getting better.
Yeah.
And then mixed in there too, there's mystery events, and you have no idea what these events are. They could be firearms related, could be shooting a shotgun, could be something with water. It was a little cold when I went, so I figured it wasn't going to be anything in the water. But it was setting up a claymore, which, other than a video game, I've never really seen one in person. So they handed me this thing, and you have to low crawl and go set it up and crawl back, and I did not do very well on that.
Were you nervous?
But yeah, we did an obstacle course, which was a smoker, and then the one that got everybody, that just destroyed everyone, was the 12-mile ruck. So we did it.
Nice.
We were supposed to do it in the morning of the third day, but weather was moving in, so they pushed it up. So we had been moving and grooving all day on that second day, and they made us do it that night. So we stepped off, and it was almost dark when we stepped off. And after a mile into it, both my hamstrings started cramping, and I was like, oh shit, this is not going to be good. This is going to be a rough time.
And for real quick, for the people that don't know anything about the Best Warrior competition, can you tell them how far you had to ruck?
Yeah, so the ruck is 12 miles, and it's supposed to be, I think, 35 or 40 pounds. You can't really tell on the screen here, but I'm 6'5", so all of my gear is larger, and my boots, both pairs of boots that I have are my basic training boots, and they weigh 7 pounds. So all of my stuff included, we weighed it, and I was closer to about 60 pounds when I stepped off. So I was pretty heavy. And then you have 3 hours to complete the ruck in. So if you do not complete it in 3 hours, your score, you don't pass it. So you have to do that to basically qualify to place, first or second. So I think, and I can't remember for sure how many soldiers there were there. I think it was like 30 some. I believe there was like five people that finished it under the 3 hours. So there was a dude, first place. He was Ranger qualified, and he did it in like 2 hours and 5 minutes. He ran the whole thing. Second place was actually a dude that I grew up with from my hometown. So Lawrenceburg was representing, which was fun. And then I came in third on that ruck. I think it was like 2 hours and 40 minutes. But man, I think that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. Not only physically but mentally, just to like not quit, because pretty much like in your mind every like 5 minutes it's just constantly telling my mind was telling me like just quit, man, just throw in the towel, like this is brutal.
What kept you going?
Somehow, that's a good question. I think I guess part of the reason why I did that event too is because it forces you to step outside your comfort zone, and it challenges you, and even if you don't like do well, it's going to make you better for it. So I think for myself, I didn't want to look back on it and be like, man, I probably could have pushed a little bit harder.
Yeah,
definitely.
So I thought about that. And then also I got to give a shout out to Sergeant Helmick. He was with me. He actually, he didn't have weight on, but he ran it and walked it with me. So he was a good motivator.
That's
and
awesome.
Kind of just keeping me going. But
try to keep your mind off of it a little bit.
Yeah. So, but it was, during all that pain, it was kind of cool too, just kind of going all over Atterbury at night. It was cool. I mean, one of my grandparents, he was a pre-mob at Atterbury in like the 40s or whatever for World War II. So he did some training there. And so, thinking about that kind of stuff too, that was a part of it, I think, as well.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but got in from that, and then I think I had probably the best sleep of my life.
Oh, I bet you
I can
did.
imagine, yeah.
Yeah, I crawled in my sleeping bag, and it probably looked like I was dead, but I don't remember even falling asleep. And then we woke up, and the next day we had our boards. So we had our boards with I think there's like 4 or 5 sergeant majors that are sitting in there, and then for those of you that don't know what a board is, it's basically like an interview.
The most stressful interview.
Yeah, stressful military interview where you walk in and you get drilled with questions.
Shit your pants the second you walk in the door.
Yeah.
Did they fuck with you hardcore?
No, they didn't. This one was all serious.
Oh, really?
Sometimes they will.
Mine was not serious at all.
Okay. Yeah. So the ones I've had at our unit, some have been serious, but one it was not serious at all, and they fucked with me.
Yeah.
And that kind of got to me, but yeah, this one was all serious, and some of these sergeant majors, some pretty big, intimidating looking dudes. So I was definitely nervous for that one,
and that was probably some of your first exposure to the upper echelons of rank too, as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a ton of rank there, but yeah, that was definitely. There was probably 30 sergeant majors walking around at all times. So, and I do have a funny story with that. They in the beginning, you walk in there and they tell you to say the soldier's creed, and for NCOs, the NCO creed. So I just had to do the soldier's creed, but so I was trained myself. You want to look everybody in the eyes, and so like make eye contact and and make sure you're speaking to them. So I was doing the soldier's creed, and there's these 5, so the 5 person panel, and I'm making eye contact with every single one of them, like staring them in their eyes, saying the soldier's creed.
This guy's fucking crazy.
One of them started laughing. And he was like, "Hold, time out." just look above our heads and look straight forward and say it and start over.
I like those videos where you see people going to board, and there was one particular that stands out to me. Is there's this he young kid, and he walks in, and the chair is sideways on the floor, and the kid walks up and looks at the chair and doesn't know what to do, and he lays down on the floor and gets in the chair sideways, and the guys at the board look at him and go, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he looks so fucking lost, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, they'll get you. But yeah, that was an intimidating experience, but it was awesome. Made it through it.
Awesome.
I think everyone's in the same boat. Everyone is nervous and kind of feeling the same way. Mm-hmm. So as soon as we did that, that was pretty much it. And then they, deliberated and scored everybody up. And so when you're going through all this, you have no idea. You don't know really where you stand. So they don't tell you after each event, they don't say like, "Hey, you're in last place," or or you're doing really, really well. It's kind of just an unknown. So from that perspective, it's kind of tough. But then, at the end, so they tally all the points up from all the events, and then they have a big ceremony and kind of announce who's number one and then number two for the alternate, just in case that guy gets hurt.
Yeah.
So,
well, I know whenever you came back, like I was really proud of you because whenever you did that, you were my guy at that time. But yeah, I was really proud of the work that you put in on that, and I thought
I appreciate
really
it.
great.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd ever want to do it again, but
Sure you would.
But yeah, anyone who has not done it, I will say you're just going to be a better soldier from it, and you're going to take away a lot of things from doing it, because it's going to challenge you, obviously physically, but almost just as much mentally, just trying to stay engaged for that long with all those tasks that you're asked to do.
Yep. So. That's one thing that we kind of strive every day in the gym between the two of us, is we like to try to push ourselves outside of the comfort zone that we normally are in, push ourselves past that, almost to the breaking point, essentially.
I don't know if you remember. Were you in whenever I was Fat Mitch?
You know what? I think maybe you were probably about like 30 pounds heavier, maybe, but like not like
so close.
Not at my fattest.
No.
Well,
no.
I'll tell you that every step of the way on this weight loss journey has been definitely outside of my comfort zone, because I've never been the physically fit dude. I would get in shape just enough to pass a PT test each year, and then the rest of the year I'd let myself go.
Well, you never really stepped foot in a gym consecutively until we started going.
Yeah, really, most of my exposure to physical fitness was through the military. Outside of in my younger days, I did gymnastics for 12 years, and then I became an adult and stopped doing that. And I still got it. You've seen me do a backflip, haven't you?
I have, man. I have. We were at Atterbury, and we were training. I think it was another AT.
Oh, it was last AT. Whenever Anderson was doing it.
I saw you. I turned my head, and I saw you, a Sergeant Lunsford, sprinting down the field and doing a flip. I was like, oh crap!
Yeah, he tried to do a back handspring at the gym the other day.
After we
pulled his hymen.
After we smoked ourselves in the gym, and I was
the shoulders were done.
My shoulders were.
We had a heavy shoulder day. That day.
I did something. It was
almost like a round off.
Yeah,
more than a back handspring.
But it was not quite
close.
What I was going for. But
it was better than I would have done.
But I was smoked. But no, last AT we had this girl. Her name is Anderson. She just got out, and we were kind of like in limbo waiting for things, and so she was over there. She did gymnastics for years, and she was doing backflips. And Pere was like, Sergeant Lunsford can do that, and everybody was like, the fuck he can, And I was like, I'm not doing it. And finally I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I was like, but nobody can take any videos in case I eat shit.
Yeah.
And I went over there, and after I did it, Walker came up. He was like, I could make so much money with you.
I said that too, though.
Oh, yeah.
For other reasons. That was a good day. That was a fun day at AT.
That was right before we went to Oh, you did H2F with me too. We
Oh,
always
there you go. There's
we
something
always
involved.
talk about H2F because I'm big.
Yeah.
H2F has been a I went to it the year prior, and then I went to it again this year whenever or this past year whenever you went, and it definitely changed my mind. That was the start of like when my weight loss journey kind of started, and I first focused on watching what I ate, and then we started the gym shortly after. But can you go into from your perspective what your what H2F was and is, and what you got out of it?
Oh yeah, man. H2F is awesome. So I think it has a when people hear it initially, they think, if you struggle with PT or you're overweight or something like that, that's what they kind of assume that
Because we always called it
it's
the
for.
fat boy camp for a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah. And I mean, that couldn't be further from the truth. It's, in my opinion, every single person, if they have the opportunity, if they can go to it, would take something away from it, because it's basically an all-encompassing class session. I think ours was a week, but I think the standard one might be 2 weeks, if
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
correct.
It is.
But it covers literally everything from nutrition, recovery, so like sleep, that kind of stuff, and then obviously the fitness aspect, but not just like working out, it's prepping yourself, so mobility and that kind of stuff too, which was big for me, because if you've tried to see me stretch, it's freaking embarrassing.
I don't
Is it
mean to-
like watching a baby giraffe?
Yes,
It's
I don't
horrible.
mean to make. I'm not making fun of you at all.
He is.
But
Yeah.
the one thing that I don't, without demonstrating it, I'll try to
By all means, please do.
No, because I don't want to move the camera. But we had this thing where you had to like put your foot up on your knee and pull your leg behind you, and
Sounds horrible.
I look up over at him, and like the instructor looks over. He was like, "I don't even know what you want me to do here." He was like, "These things won't work."
Yeah, I'm right there with you though, because I'm about as flexible as a brick. So
But it doesn't help that you're 6'5", like you have
Right.
you have a lot more surface area to try to bend and stretch. I'm
Yeah. So-
5'6", so it's a little easier for me. Although it's not. As you get older, it gets harder.
what's my excuse then? I'm 5'11", so I should be flexible.
But you're
I'm fat.
wide.
I don't know, man. I've always struggled, even when I was a skinny rail in high school.
Really?
Yeah, it's always been rough. My hips are always bad, which I think we'll talk about climbing a little bit later, but part of that is like being close to the wall, being able to keep your hips close to the wall. And that's something I struggle with. Just in the other stuff too, like we talk ACFT for the Army, I want to get a good score there. And so like deadlift, part of my struggle is even being able to get down that far. So all things mobility from that class was great to hear. And they cover literally everything, and every instructor there is extremely knowledgeable. They talk about some of their past experiences too. And we had, there's a guy there who was a strength coach at Wisconsin football, and a variety of other people who just done some really neat stuff that have, bring a lot of good experience.
It really was just a master class on
Yeah.
everything fitness and nutrition related.
I'm disappointed I missed out on that.
Yep. Yeah, I don't, because they didn't even have it whenever you were in.
No, they didn't.
Because they were what they said
They
they were
didn't
like
have-
5 years old or something like that.
They didn't have any cool shit when I was in the military.
You missed out.
they didn't have anything cool.
All they cared about was war.
Yeah,
whenever
no
you
shit.
when you were in.
All they cared about was going over and killing motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I cared about.
So what was the number one thing that you got out of that class?
Good question. I think
AIDS.
for one probably all the mobility stuff, and they give you packets and things, so if you don't remember it, you can they have barcodes, you can scan it and show you all the exercises and stretches and whatnot. But sometimes too, I've always been pretty good at working out, but sometimes it's kind of just chaotic, if that makes sense. There's not a set like plan. So they do really good at helping program and set a plan up for you. And actually, like right now, I'm doing their fitness workout. So their program,
Oh, really?
just the standard one that they gave you that's 8 weeks long. I'm on week 4, I think, right now. But I mean, I use it. I'm using it right now. And so I think the programming piece, just to kind of keep me aligned with, what I should be focusing on like each week, rather than just going to the gym and just being like, yeah,
I'll try
what
this
should I
today.
do today?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
See, have you made any like personal appointments up there since that class?
No, I've not done that. I mean,
I
think if
highly
I,
suggest it, just to let you know.
yeah, and I think that'd be good. I think if I get through this program, and then I can fine tune it and
Right.
think of some things I really need to work on, and then focus
They're
that.
ridiculously helpful.
Yeah, focus that program like on that. I can talk to him and be like, hey, I want this program to focus on getting me stronger, whatever it might be.
So do you?
I know they would make one for you.
Do you go to the gym regularly now?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
What is your workout regimen look like? Like, do you do strength training, or is it just for staying limber, or what?
So the focus is basically trying to be not great, but good at pretty much like everything. So the Life Fit program that I'm following right now, it has 4 days, and each day has typically a major lift. So like one day will be deadlift, and then it's like a circuit. Next day it's going to be like your upper body. So it's going to be a push, and then a push related circuit, incorporating other stuff too, like carries and some other, core work.
So kind of similar to what
we were doing.
what our workout was.
Yeah.
Because our workout was very
Structured about the same way. Yeah.
Structured and based off of Life Fits.
Yeah. So usually 4 days of weights, and circuit, including like calisthenic type stuff. And then I usually try to climb at least once a week. And then for cardio, I don't necessarily enjoy it. But I try to run, and I'll be completely honest. Like this week when it's 5 degrees, I don't do a great job at it. I'm not going outside.
Fuck
and
that
running.
shit.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
There's some people, Kalen, Warland, who will run in that shit.
Yeah, but I do try on a standard week. If it's a perfect week, I'm hitting weights 4 times. I'm climbing once, and then I usually try to run 2 or 3 times a week.
Now,
just to keep the cardio up.
Awesome.
Now on the climbing, what got you? How did you start, and what got you interested in climbing?
Yeah, so I think honestly, it just kind of was luck where I moved. So I bought a house on the east side, and turns out the closest gym to me is a climbing gym.
Cool.
So North Mass Boulder is the gym. So there's a couple different kinds of climbing. There's like top rope, or lead climbing, and that's when you actually have a harness and you're on a rope, and
That's what
you're
I need.
going up. You're going up high.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need a harness, so I don't die.
That's
I need a
definitely
harness and a
intimidating.
trampoline.
But this gym here, it's a boulder gym. So typically, like the highest it'll go is about 20 feet, maybe a little bit higher, but not much more. And you're not clipped in or anything like that. You're just kind of going up on your own. And so it's me and a buddy. We got a membership, and we're just like, you know what? We were just lifting there initially, and they're like, we should try this out. And I'll never forget it. The first time I went in there and we climbed, it took me back to when I was a kid, like freaking climbing trees and stuff. I was like, we all have stress going on in our lives, jobs, whatever it might be. I just remember going in there and be like, damn, man, this is awesome. Like, I feel like a little kid, just climbing these walls, but at the same time, I'm getting a good workout.
Yeah.
So from then I was kind of just hooked, and by no means, like, I'm not very good. I've gotten a lot better, but I'm still not very good in terms of climbers, per se. But that's kind of how I got hooked on climbing, and just for convenience, and then kind of just fun. I've kept at it.
I know that we had talked, and he had said that we should come out and
You should.
climb with you sometime. I will just let you know it will be the most humorous thing you see. But
Yeah, seeing me climb that wall, dude, you're probably gonna piss your pants laughing. That's all I'm saying.
well, it's
I have never done this type of climb. I mean, I've watched a shit ton of videos on it in the past. You know, I follow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but Magnus Mitbo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I watch him all the time. I love that guy. He's cool.
I love
cool
Magnus.
Cool as shit.
Yeah.
But I watch him all the time, but I've never actually done it myself. So getting me up there is going to be something interesting. But
well,
I'm
it's
definitely
really
down.
cool.
Though. I'd love to do it.
Yeah. So if you guys do come out, your first time with a member is free. So
that's awesome.
Cool.
it would be free, and then also there's climbs for anybody. So they have different scales, and they have it kind of coordinated by color.
Right.
So for example, like red is the basic one, and then it goes up from like red, yellow, green, blue, purple, so on and so forth. But there's routes that anybody basically off the street, as long as you're not injured and are in like any kind of shape whatsoever, you're going to be able to climb something there and have fun.
That's awesome.
So
one thing that we're very interested in, and we talk to a lot of people that do all different types of fitness, and like I said, most of my experience whenever it comes to fitness has been Army PT, which fucking sucks. I hate doing traditional Army PT.
Anybody who enjoys Army PT is a fucking tard.
Like that shit we did on that last Sunday. With those circuits and those 15.
Oh yeah,
I hate that. I hate that stuff.
Yep.
I think it's boring and I just hate it. But one thing that I find so interesting is since I've started going to the gym and lifting, like that was my first introduction to lifting, and I was like, oh, I actually enjoy this, and to go out and kind of explore the different types of fitness and to show that fitness looks different for everybody. It's not about a one size fits all. It's about finding what works for you and making it work. And so we would definitely thoroughly enjoy coming out and making a fool of ourselves just to kind of shine light on that sport and
how much better you are than we are.
Yeah, you'll see it. Another thing that we want to do is we've been talking about for the past few weeks is so we so often we go up to Stout Field and we went up there and we filmed us working out and all that stuff. But what we want to do is we have a whole group of people that are service members, and then one that's not. That we want to do get everybody together and do almost like a strongman competition. But how we would do it is say he's really good at bench, so maybe have the whole goal is you have to bench half your body weight for as many reps as you can. And then we'll divide each other into teams. Maybe you do pull-ups because you're a stud at pull-ups.
Same with sled.
And have
your body weight on sled push.
Have one person from each team doing that or whatever exercise it is. Have 5 or 6 events, and
that's a great idea.
And do a little team against team, and whichever team wins, they'll get a Fatman trophy or something like that. And we can make it ever so often we do a little competition and something like that. Just something fun. We'll record it and get a few people out. So this is your invitation. You're more than welcome to come out, and I think it would be great.
I'm down. I'm down. I'm there.
Pere said that he would come out. My brother, he is a Marine, and he said that he'd come out. And
is he currently in the Marine? He's former Marine.
Yeah, he's once a Marine, always a Marine. He corrects me on that all the time. But we got a slew of people slowly growing, and I think it'd be great to get Rainbow. He's because he has a lot of experience in wrestling and all that stuff. So he.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Have him come out or something like that, and just get a group of people, all different ages, and just have some fun with fitness and show people that not all fitness has to be boring. We can make a game out of it.
Oh yeah, it'd be fun.
But yeah, I think.
But all I'm saying is, if I'm not on the winning team, I'm going to make fun of everybody that wins.
Okay. And
I probably won't be on the winning team.
Then after we work our asses off, we can go and eat like shit.
We'll have to go to that Mexican restaurant that we went to last time.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
That place was awesome.
Have you been to that Mexican restaurant up there by the unit, kind of by where the Taco Bell is?
I have. Yep.
It's great.
A couple times. It's really good.
I can't remember the name of the place, but they got
I don't remember the name of the place
food.
either, but they're great if you're a veteran because everything is $8.
Yeah.
Everything. Doesn't matter
it's incredible.
what you get.
Yeah.
But yeah, I highly suggest it. But No, what we wanted to show people that fitness doesn't have to suck. I mean, it has its element of sucking, throughout our time. Oh, that's just a notification. But throughout our time at the gym, we have our days that really suck ass.
Right.
But the appreciation is there, at least, and I feel a lot better since I've discovered it.
One thing I've noticed though, the more it sucks, the better you feel afterwards.
Yes, I will say
100%. There is, there's a level of equality there, So
I have a question. What is your favorite thing in the gym, and what is your least favorite thing in the gym?
Favorite thing in the gym is probably
the exit door.
Let's see. If I'm going on like lifting type stuff, probably anything pull related, just because I've gotten pretty good at. I think a combination of climbing and then also just doing pull-ups for years now.
Mm-hmm.
Anything pulling related, I like a lot. And then I'm a big jump rope fan too. So I mentioned I don't like running a lot, but I do enjoy skipping rope. I got a weighted jump rope, and I think that helps quite a bit. I played a lot of basketball back in my day, so that always kind of helped the coordination and conditioning there.
Yeah.
So those are probably my two things: pole and then jump rope. And then, did you ask it what I hate?
Yeah. What's your least favorite?
Man, probably squat, probably back squat.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
Yeah,
Goblet squats.
Oh yeah, he hates goblet squats.
Fucking hate those.
Yeah, I've actually I've become a fan. I think just because I forced myself to do it so often. I mean, I don't do it like 3 times a week or anything like that, but I do like deadlift now.
Yeah.
Just because there's something about just pulling some shit off the ground
that makes you feel like a man.
Yeah. Yeah. But for whatever reason, though, the squat, man, I mean, for one, my body type is just not that. It's not built for that. But that always tears me up.
I like doing squats. I should rephrase that. I only like doing. Oh well, there's 2 types of squats that I enjoy: back squats, but I'm not very flexible, so that's kind of hard.
Whenever he does it, he literally has to hold on the weight.
Yeah, I can't get my arms.
His arms don't
hold the bar. It's
wow.
I don't know if you can tell, but he's fucking broad as shit. So
I
I
like doing
can.
those,
Yeah.
and then I like doing the pit
Big
shark
dude.
squats. Pit shark squats are fun. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those or not, but I love those.
See, I like the pit shark squats because
It takes all the stress off your back.
I have arthritis in my neck and my shoulders, and so like the holding a bar on my shoulders, it is excruciatingly painful. So one thing that I found to be able to get my squats in is using that pit sharks to do my squats, because the belt sets on your hips, and but the bad thing about it is you can push a hell of a lot more fucking weight on the pit shark than you can in traditional squats, and I've gotten myself in a little bit of trouble a couple times because you're like, oh, I can do a hell of a lot more. And then the next day you can't fucking walk.
Yep. You can't sit down to take a shit.
No.
You just have to hover over the toilet and hit it.
Oh, it's fucking terrible. Like if there was a fire in my house, I'm shit out of luck.
You could just roll.
Yeah.
I'm just rolling down there.
Just roll through the hallway.
But honestly, I haven't squatted heavy since. So we were doing really good there for a while, and I got some videos. We were putting a shit ton of weight.
It's about 600 pounds.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Hey, if you need to start wearing like knee braces because you're gonna blow your knees out." As soon as I was getting ready to go up to the next squat, it fucked with my brain, and I just can't go heavy on squats.
Man,
I was like, ah.
Yeah, he was squatting like on the pit shark 600 pounds raw, and I'm like, you need some knee wraps, some braces, something.
Damn.
You're gonna fucking tweak a knee, and you're gonna be shit out of luck for months.
See, I will say I'm a little guy, but I got some strong legs for being as small as I am. It's the only thing that I can sort of keep up with him on. The thing that pisses me off is, so he'll be like, I'll be doing my max, everything that I got, like there's not an ounce of energy left, and he's like, just leave that on there. I'm going to do a warm up. I'm like, fuck you.
Hey, I will say though, I feel like we've lifted a couple times together in the past.
Yeah.
And then compare that to our recent workouts. you've gotten a lot stronger.
I appreciate
like you're
that.
you're way stronger than
I
what
was
you
telling
were.
I was telling him that earlier today. I said, because he was talking about not being in the shape he wants to be, and I said, well, look at it this way: you're in a lot better shape than 90% of the 36-year-old males out there.
Oh yeah,
he's a lot stronger than what he looks. So
yeah,
I'm slowly getting there. It's definitely hard because I've always struggled with my weight, and so like that's been my measurement of progress for so long, and still whenever I look in the mirror, even though I know like intellectually I know that I'm not where I was, you still look in the mirror and then you look at the stuff you're doing and you think, man, I'm still the fat piece of shit that I used to be, and but it's hard trying to change your brain and to look at progress in different ways. But I still have goals. I still have my goals that I'm trying to get whenever it comes to lifting, but overall I just want to not feel like I'm getting winded playing chess anymore.
you did hit a new PR today though for reps.
I did. So I did. We were doing flat
for 9.
If we were doing flat bench, I did 225 for 9 reps. So.
Oh wow!
So I'm getting there. My goal is by the end of the year I want to do 315. So
what was your old record for 225? It was like 6.
5.
Was it 5?
Yeah. Last week I only did 5.
And
so.
you've done 4 more than usual.
Mm-hmm. So I'm slowly getting there.
That's huge. Yeah, that's a big number.
Well, one thing that I did make a note of, but because he's a lot taller than me too, and so I said there is a difference because my range of motion only has to be like this far, and versus like you have a lot further to go down whenever you're benching, and so like that's definitely my one benefit is being a shorter guy.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you for deadlifts.
Oh yeah,
you got a long way to go.
You have to go way to like me. I barely have to bend my knees to go get down to the bar.
Yeah,
so
that's a tough one.
Speaking of goals, hitting goals and PRs and stuff, do you have any goals right now that you're working toward in the gym? Not necessarily just weight wise, but just in general.
Yeah, a couple goals. I mean, one is just overall health and fitness. I've definitely used working out, whether it's lifting, climbing, running, just as like a de-stressor.
Right.
So just come back from work, whatever, just you gotta blow off some steam. So that's one way I do that, is through working out. So just keeping me sane. And then I guess while I'm in the military, I do want to do as well as I can on the ACFT.
You almost maxed it though, didn't you?
I'm close. So that is that's a goal. Is I would like to max it.
Perfect score.
Which we have one coming up, I think in
April.
So not too much
you
longer to train for it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'd like to max that. If I can do that, that'd be pretty incredible. Just because I know that's no small feat.
No.
Right.
Nobody in our
But yeah,
unit's done it yet.
other than that, it's just like regular, just health and fitness, just staying fit.
What is the so are me and you in the same age bracket for the PT test?
I'm how old are you?
36.
I'm not sure what the bracket is. So I just hit a new bracket. I'm 32.
Okay, then
and that got me into another one.
Yeah, so me and you are still, because mine doesn't change until like 37, 38 or something like that.
Okay.
So we're in the same.
I'm in the grandpa bracket.
Yeah, you are in the grandpa bracket. No, Cooper. You remember Cooper?
Yeah.
George,
yeah.
or not George Cooper. What's his? Mike Cooper.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I never knew his first name, but yeah.
Yeah, he's in the grandpa bracket.
Yeah.
He's. But
so,
no.
Are you married, kids, or anything like that?
Nope.
No.
No married, no kids.
Awesome.
No.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
No. My question is what's the max deadlift for us?
340.
340.
340 for 3. Yeah.
So mine would be lower.
Yeah.
Mine would be like 12 pounds probably.
Yeah. So I think right now it's tough because the gym I go to, they have they have higher bars. So the deadlift bar that the Army uses is it's literally on the ground basically.
Yeah.
And then when you put weights on the bumpers, that's how far it is off the ground. So it's kind of tough for me. But I mean, if I'm just using the bar that I'm training with right now, I can hit that 340. So I think it's going to be close. That's like my my one event that's going to be kind of the sketchy one to hit that max on.
Do you train for your deadlift? Do you train on a trap bar, or do you train on like a straight bar?
Mostly trap bar.
So I was talking to Jake the last time that I talked to him from H2F. He said if you want to train for deadlifts, train on a straight bar, because the trap bar is not doing you any favors. But so just I mean, you could take that for what it's worth. But I don't like doing deadlifts on a straight bar. I'm not very good at it. I
prefer the straight bar, but it's easier with the trap bar.
My coordination is my coordination isn't a lot there. So it's something that I definitely need to work on there. I'm not quite to 340. I think the last time we did deads, which we haven't done it, he got a hernia, and so we've kind of cut deads out for a while. But the last time I did deadlifts, I did 315, and that was my max. So I still.
That's still pretty solid though.
Well, my goal is, so I will. It's not I want to, but I will max the PT test. My goal is September or October. I mean, and so like that's I'm slowly working there. I'm working towards it.
That's awesome, man. I mean, it is tough. I mean, all of those exercises combined, like you kind of got to be good at everything.
Yeah.
Like you got to be able to lift, and then also like calisthenics, you got to be able to move your body weight really well. Push-ups, you got to be able to hold yourself up for that plank, and then at the freaking end of it, you got to be able to do that run, which is easy to pass, but
hard to max.
That's minus the run, minus the running part, because I don't run, but minus the running part, I would love to try the ACFT.
Honestly, I think
the new one.
You could pass the new ACFT. You absolutely could.
I don't know about the run part.
Even the run,
because my 290-pound ass does not run.
You get 22 minutes or 23 minutes at your age.
I got it.
So
if I get 20 minutes to pass 2 miles,
that's the one thing about it. But you're also smoked afterwards. And honestly, the thing that gets you is that sprint drag carry.
Yep.
I mean, I
was watching a video the other day of some 95-pound female Marine that tried the ACFT, and she struggled. I mean, she passed it, but she struggled.
Yep.
I was like, damn.
It's it will smoke the shit out of you. But like you said, it's a lot easier to pass than the ACFT was, but it's a lot harder to max.
Yeah. I don't want to sit and talk shit about the Marine Corps or anything, but
because they'll probably come and talk shit about you too.
Well, I don't care about that. I don't want to talk shit because my son's a Marine.
Yeah,
but they're not the Army. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. On our TikTok channel, we had a Marine on there, and we went like it was all in good fun, but we have a whole thread of us going back and forth. But he was like, "You know what Army is? Ain't ready for the Marine Corps yet." And I was, what's your favorite flavor of crowns? And just going back and forth and stuff. I love the just the shit talking from all the different.
So for my son's birthday, I actually sent him a box of edible crayons.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's amazing.
He was out in California. He just not too long ago got back from Australia, but he's over in California now. So we shipped a box of all kinds of stupid shit. I sent some nudie mags in there that probably got him in trouble, and some box of edible crayons, and just some princess coloring books and shit.
That's funny.
Just a bunch of dumb shit.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So not that long ago, I was out on a job, and you guys know exactly what I mean. You can tell like from a mile away if somebody served. Like they just they have that look about them. I seen this guy come up, and I just had that thought. I was like, he was in a branch of service. I don't know what branch, but he was in something. And I was like, what branch were you in? He was like, I was in the Marine Corps. And I was like, okay, I've been in the Army for the past 16 years. And he was like, that's all right. We all need our heroes. And it caught me off guard. I definitely laughed about it. My brother, so he's was in the Marine Corps for 4 years, and my grandpa, he was in the Navy, and they always went back and forth. And I remember, not very often was my grandpa without words, but he was like, the Marine Corps, they're a department of the Navy. And my brother, without skipping a beat, he was like, yeah, we're the men's division. And I just thought it was funny as shit.
It is.
But so do you have any advice? So you're obviously you in good physical shape, but like you remember me whenever I wasn't there. For somebody that was like where I started, what is the best advice you would give to? Like, I mean, you're an NCO now. You're going to have Joes that are going to fall underneath you, and there's most likely you're going to have people that was in the place that I was that struggled with their physical fitness. What is your best advice for somebody that is just getting started, that doesn't know where to start, but both mentally and physically?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I'll probably steal some of the thunder from H2F, and they have it written on their programs, like this packet that they gave us. It's even written on there. It's consistency is key. So I feel like your fitness and over the course of your life, it ebbs and flows. So there's going to be times where you're in, really, really solid shape. There's going to be other times in your life when you're in not so great shape, and it's kind of it's constantly up and down. You're fighting it. But I think the key overall for anybody is just being consistent. So find something. So you've talked about, there's different things you can do. Doesn't have to be weights. It can be something unique. Find what you like, whether it's climbing or, maybe you're a runner, whatever it might be. Just find that and then be consistent at it. So you're not going to see progress, or you're not going to see gains after doing something for 2 days, or you're not going to see gains, if you do something once a week, for months. So find out what you like, set a goal for yourself, but do it consistently. So if it's, if I want to say I want to get better and, max this ACFT, so stick with this program, be consistent on it. So even if I'm not feeling the best one day, just, show up. Showing up's half the battle.
That's what we
all,
our number one.
We wake up and you feel like crap. You don't want to roll out in the cold weather and, go to the gym. But even if you don't have your best workout, like that's the key, is just trying to be as consistent as possible.
One thing that we always say is 90% of the battle is showing up, because I like, for me, like I believe that you are the company that you keep. And so, it's real easy to sit at home and eat a bag of potato chips while you're sitting on the couch and watching TV. But I think it's better for you to go to the gym, even if you did nothing but sit on the bench and just watch people. It's better to go, just make it through those doors.
Be in that environment.
Because you're more likely, okay, these people are doing something. Maybe I'll get up and I'll walk around the track. And then do that for a couple of weeks. And, okay, maybe I'm going to go try out one of these, this gym equipment. And, like, making those baby steps, but building the habit of just showing up. Showing up is by far the hardest thing. And our number one rule, we have a whole bunch of stupid sayings that we say every day because
we're stupid.
Yeah, because we're dumb. But we love to joke around. But our number one rule that we always say is don't be a bitch. And, like, really, at the end of the day, it's all on you. You're the only one that can make the difference. Nobody's going to hold your hand and the whole entire way. You have to make that commitment that you want to change your life, and it all starts with one decision, just showing up. And
realize that showing up for yourself is enough.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, Dustin, I think you've mentioned it too. Like, if it's, you show up, you push yourself, it's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult, but then afterwards, like, you're going to feel damn good.
Yeah, for sure.
The rest of your day is going to be good. Or if you work out at night, whatever it might be, your next day is going to be better. You're just going to feel better.
Yeah. So like on the last podcast that we did, when I talked about how I missed the days of waking up at 5 a.m. and doing, the Army PT. I don't miss the Army PT, but it's the after effects. You get up at 5 a.m., you go out and you do your PT, and then you go back and shower, and then you go to the chow hall. The feeling that I had when I'm sitting there in the chow hall, knowing that, and I just felt liberated. It felt good. I felt like, I'm going to go conquer the day because I've accomplished that this first thing in the morning. It's just, it doesn't matter if you do it first thing in the morning or if you do it at night. If you show up consistently and you kick your own ass from time to time while you're there, you're gonna be a lot better mentally for it.
Now, I do have a question. What kind of psychopath are you? Do you work out in the mornings or do you work out in the evenings?
So kind of just depends on whatever my schedule is. I guess maybe a couple months ago, I quit a job that didn't allow me to work out in the mornings. The gym didn't open early enough, so I had to go after work. But now where I'm working, I'm able to do mornings. And I'm the kind of guy that typically, when I get off work, it's going to be more of a struggle, and I'm going to have more odds of saying, I'm just going to cook dinner and call it quits.
Yeah.
So I like to go in the morning. I went this morning. I usually wake up at about a little after 5 and then go get after it. So I'm a morning guy.
So what you're saying is you're a special type of psychopath.
Yeah.
I am not made for the mornings. I am not.
I've told myself time and time again, I'm going to wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to go hit the gym and see what it feels like. And I have yet to do it. And that's been going on 2 years now.
I never tell myself that ever.
I have literally told myself I'm going to do it just to see if there's any mental benefit or physical benefit or whatever the case may be, and I just can't bring myself to fucking do it.
See, for me, it's the going to the gym. Aside from it helps me become more physically fit and healthier. It's a stress reliever for my day, and I work really, really, really long days most days, and so it's like I need that at the end of my day because I work late shifts and I value my every ounce of sleep that I get, so I know I'm not waking up early.
Well, it's also like you said earlier, Evan. Working out is a huge stress reliever. So for us, especially, well, me mostly, but I'm not sure, it could be you too. After a long day of work, whether it was a hard day of work or just a long day at work and you really didn't do much, having that workout at the end of the day, getting in there and lifting those heavy weights and kicking your own ass and then finishing it off with a nice fucking session in the sauna, sweating your balls off, it's just a perfect end to a day for me. You come home and you shower and I just feel relieved, refreshed.
See, for me, it kind of gives me, so I work, give or take, 9 to 5 every single day. And then I get off and I have maybe 45 minutes to chill, go to the gym. We're usually at the gym between 6:30 and 7 o'clock and work out for an hour and a half or so. But that's my second win because as soon as we get out of the gym, I go into so I own ML Productions, and so that's whenever I start a lot of my work, and so I work late hours after that, and so I need the gym to give me like that second wind. Otherwise, the days that I don't go to the gym, if something comes up or if I have a big project, my motivation level is so small. So like that's one thing that I will say, that going to the gym, it's done so much more for me than just the physical results of it. Like it changes your life. I mean, you have an appreciation for the hard work that you put into it. You see the physical results, even though some days it's hard to see those physical results, but because it's a mental game. But
it's only hard to see the results when you're naked in the front of the mirror, and then you're like, "Damn."
Although the other day I was super excited, and we talked about it the last podcast. So I've been struggling to get, like, I've been trying to build my traps up, and we were in the gym, and I stopped like in mid workout. We were doing flies, and I was like, "Look at that, Carpenter! Yeah. I got traps. They're coming in. I can finally see them." So like I have those moments, but yeah, the gym, it's changed my work ethic. It's changed my outlook. I mean, it's more than a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing, an emotional thing. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's definitely gave me a new appreciation. And then on the military side, it's definitely brought my pride to wear the uniform back. And because whenever you become a fat lard of ass, and trying to put your uniform on where it looks like it's painted on, it's not a good feeling. So like, it was after COVID fucked me up. That's where I gained most of my weight. And
it fucked a lot of people up.
Oh man! Well, I was working.
Getting married fucked me up.
That fucked me up too. Whenever I got married,
where I put my weight on.
Not married anymore, but when I was
married to the gym and the Army.
Yep, I'm married to work mostly. But no, whenever I was on those COVID orders, so I sat at a desk. So I started out at the food banks, and then we went transition and started going to the nursing homes. Well, right next to my desk was a vending machine, like within reach, and so like that part of it was so boring. So I would board eat. And I'd be sitting there at my desk, and I'd be like, man, that fatty cake looks really good. And also, we weren't allowed to wear our uniforms at the nursing home. So I'm in civvies, didn't wear my uniform for like a year and a half. And whenever I went to, I didn't think that I gained as much weight as I did. Then I went to put on my uniform, and I was like, oh, shit. Suck it in. And I remember Pere came up to me, and he was like, buddy, you don't look good. I was like, I don't feel good either. And I was like, something needs to give.
And it's probably the zipper.
the zipper almost good.
Give.
But it was so bad. I got so fat that I couldn't even button my pants. I had my belt was like holding on by a thread. And so I was like, okay, shit needs to change. But going to the gym changed my life altogether.
Yeah, you're making it. You're making it happen.
We're fine. We're getting there slowly but surely.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. So
I'll eventually get down in weight.
But you're bulking right now too.
No, I'm not. I'm on my cut
or
now.
I just
started my cut 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you just finished bulking.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're a big son of a bitch. You are.
Well, you can stack shit pretty high.
He almost did 405 on the bench press the other day.
Yeah.
He was really close.
I failed. I failed it.
Yeah.
Hey, but he tried.
Yeah. My max right now is 385.
Man, that's huge.
I'm
huge.
close. That's my goal. My goal for this year is to hit 405 on bench, but I'm also on my cut, so we'll see how that goes.
Can you tell he's a power lifter? Yeah, like
it looks like it.
Yeah.
Looks like you could probably deadlift like 1,000 pounds too.
No, my max I think is 650.
I mean
Or
that's
no, 625 I think.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
He's
substantial.
He's in the 1,000-pound club
I'm in the 1,200-pound club.
or the 1,200-pound club. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get there. That's not even my goal, but I'll be fine whenever I get 315. Although I said that about 225, and now I'm like, whenever I get to 315, I'll be able to be a man. And, but no, it's making those baby steps. We'll get.
It takes
there.
time. It takes dedication, consistency.
Yeah.
That's the key, consistency.
So to close out the podcast, do you have any like good words of wisdom about anything, life, leadership, anything that you would like to add?
Oh man, put me on the spot for leadership questions here.
Come on, Sarnt. Talk to my private. Talk to me like I'm a private.
Oh man, great question. I think one, piggybacking on the fitness question too, is no matter what
I love
you do,
the usage of piggyback, by the way.
piggyback. Yeah. One, be consistent with whatever you do, working out, or if it's business, you're hammering at your civilian job, trying to grow the ranks there, get promoted, whatever it might be, stay the course. I think two is just focus on your attitude. So kind of what you hear a lot, especially in the armies, you get out of it what you put into it. And I think that's true with pretty much anything you do. So really have a good attitude and have really a good work ethic. And then if you combine those things, you're going to have success in whatever you pursue. Mm-hmm. And it might take some time, but nothing good happens overnight. So
100%.
Consistency is key.
And one thing that they teach wholeheartedly in the military is integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the right thing even when nobody's looking, and that includes doing the right thing for yourself when nobody's looking. Not just in general in life, but doing the right thing for yourself, whether it be for financial or for your health or for your family or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. And one thing we want to say is, if you have a fitness journey, or if you have a story that you want to tell, please reach out to us. We have the Fatman Podcast or the Fatman Project page on Facebook. We also have the community group, which is for you guys. So if you have any wins for the week, or if you have anything that you would like to share with the community, please feel free to come on the group page.
Or if you just want to get on there and make fun of me, that works too.
Make fun of him. We make fun of him every day. But yeah, come on there. We want to hear your stories, and come on the podcast. We would love to share your fitness journeys. We're having everybody from trainers to rock climbers to veterans to people. We had a girl on here the other week that she lost 167 pounds and just is killing it. So please come on, share your story. We want to bring it out there to the world. And at the end of the day, our biggest goal is we want to spread a positive message and let you guys know that we're in this journey with you. We're not where we want to be, but we're working towards it, and we're bringing you along on the journey.
That's right.
And so just don't give up and just keep grinding at it. And to our awesome guest, Evan Schoeff, we really appreciate you coming on the podcast, and it's been a great time talking to you and just hearing about your stories and your life and experiences. And I think that a lot of people are going to get something out of this. And I know I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. I know Carpenter has as well. And also check us out on TikTok while I'm at this. But check us out on TikTok. Yeah. We're on there, and the podcast episodes, they air every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, the Fatman Project. So yeah, check us out. So I'm Mitch.
Get on there and watch it now.
Yeah, come on, get it. But no, thank you again, and
yeah, thanks Evan for hanging out with us, man. It's been a blast. It's been good getting to know you and learning a little bit about you.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, no
I think what you guys are doing is awesome,
and I look forward to climbing that wall with my fat ass with you sometime. That sounds exciting.
Let's set it up.
No, definitely.
And then
let me know when you guys are free, and we'll get that set up.
Absolutely. So. And then like I said, we're going to get together and we're going to do a strongman competition, have teams, and you're going to come along for the ride and compete with us. And
I'm in.
Are you going for the gold, getting the Fatman Project medal?
Oh, I'm going for the gold. If I'm competing, I'm going for the top medal.
We need to make like a trophy of just some fat guy holding a cheeseburger.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. Like barbells with a cheeseburger on each side.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Say we're coming up with magic right now.
Work in progress.
Yeah,
we're doing it.
I don't know if you can tell, but 99% of what we do is we're just winging it.
Yep.
Hey, it's working.
As soon as I wake up in the morning, I wing it at life. I don't have a plan for shit, so
yeah.
Hey,
I like it.
It's worked for us.
That's
but
right.
No, thank you guys for watching. I'm Mitch,
and I'm Dustin, and this has been the Fatman Podcast. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us, guys.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch.
Hell yeah.